If you've been enjoying saxophone in an alternate universe, you might not be aware that the SELMER Mark VI is the cornerstone of saxophone sound, design, and ergonomics. For everyone else, though, this is an instrument we've grown up coveting, researching, hunting for specific references, and even modifying to our preference. Released in 1954 by the Henry Selmer Paris Company, the Mark VI revolutionized saxophone design by democratizing access to the feature set pioneered by the mythical super balanced action. It was the first model by Selmer to be assembled in the kind of numbers to rival major American manufacturers like King, Kahn, Boucher, and Martin, while providing an excellent balance of power, intonation, ergonomics, and overall playability. This design has set the measuring stick not only in terms of its versatility and performance, it's become a sought-after collector's item. Vintage Mark VI saxophones, especially those in good condition, are highly prized both by musicians and collectors alike. For many musicians, the Mark VI symbolizes a golden era in saxophone manufacturing and represents the pinnacle of saxophone craftsmanship. With very few exceptions, nearly every major saxophonist since 1960 has played on or recorded on a Selmer Mark VI at least a handful of times. For many saxophonists, finding their unique sonic signature on a Selmer Mark VI is an aesthetic milestone in their musical journey. In terms of collectability, however, not all Mark VIs are equal. Since the rise of the internet, it's become a bit of a game to spot and figure out the particular serial numbers that our famous saxophonists have gravitated toward and become associated with due to inherent strengths or particular quirks of a certain range. For example, Joe Henderson's often associated with the early 56,000 range horns, Michael Brecker with the 80,000 range, John Coltrane with the legendary 125,000 range. Remember that Selmer made Mark VIs from serial number 54,000 all the way through 241,000, a range spanning 1954 all the way to 1975. Which is great because it created a commodity-style market around these instruments, with trading values dependent on condition, aesthetics, and of course serial number range. Today, I'm going to present two Mark VI tenor saxophones separated by 100,000 serial numbers, a classic 5-digit 83,000 Michael Brecker series against a 183,000, which is often known as an upper digit Mark VI. I'd love to let you know about my new project, Shure Sax. Shure Sax is a vintage saxophone sales company specializing in curating rare saxophones for clients. The company's focus is on providing exceptional service to musicians and collectors who are seeking specific brands, models, and unique saxophones for performance, collecting, and investment. At Shure Sax, we are building a brand identity that reflects musical freedom, vintage flair with surf and beach-inspired thematic elements. Check out the link in my description of this video for more information, and don't forget, surf for your sound with Shure Sax. So today I'm going to start with the 1960 83,000 Selmer Mark VI. This is an American engraved instrument with original lacquer, and you can tell that because it's got the Mark VI signature on the upper stack. You can also see that the neck has the serial number engraved on it. These are what's known as 5-digit Mark VIs because they have an innovative neck and body tube design, which sets them apart not only from the super balanced action which preceded this run of instruments, but also the 6-digit instruments with which Selmer changed a variety of aesthetic as well as technical details about the build and the build quality of the instruments. So the 80,000 range is often colloquially known as the Michael Brecker series, and the reason why is because there is a power, a precision, but also a breadth of sound that really has a symbiotic relationship to Brecker's sound and style, particularly during the early 2000s, which everyone knows from amazing records like Tales from the Hudson and Pilgrimage, which is one of my favorite records of all time. You can tell that it has just an incredible engraving on it. And this instrument has been played. I mean, this is something that's been loved and cared for throughout its life, and it has an incredible sound, which I'll demo for you now. Just for reference, I'm playing on a vintage Berg Larsen 110/2. This piece is for sale. Feel free to DM me for purchase and pricing details. I'm using my trusty Roberto's Wovo ligature, as well as Ishimori's 3-strength reeds. Today I'm going to be performing London by Dave Binney. Yeah. While the body tube is interchangeable with the SBA, meaning that you can put an SBA neck onto a Mark VI and a 5-digit Mark VI neck onto an SBA body tube, the taper of the Mark VI body tube, the 5-digit, is unique, meaning that there particularly is a very notable difference in how the palm keys speak as opposed to any other saxophone, where they will have a tendency to run sharp, but that also means that they have a very unique sort of cry, the Mark VI cry, if you will. So this is an absolutely incredible instrument. It's really best in breed. If you can get your hands on a 5-digit, I would definitely encourage you to check it out. However, these instruments are running well above $10,000 at present, and that's low. I mean, all of the Mark VI and just the general saxophone market prices are incredibly low right now comparatively to where they were 5, even 10 years ago. So these are pretty much the most prized tenor saxophones in the entire world. If you can find one and you can hold on to it, I definitely encourage you to do it. However, there are a number of alternatives out there. First and foremost, upper digit Mark VIs. So as you can tell, a lot changed over the 20-year run of the SELMER Mark VI. And let's just start with what we can see, right? So first and foremost, we have on my left the 5-digit 83,000. 100,000 serial numbers later, we get a 183,000 Mark VI. And you can see that SELMER changed quite a bit about these instruments. So we have a honey gold on the 5-digit serial number instruments, and SELMER switched to more of a gold, and some might call it champagne style color for the later digit instruments. We lose the metal thumb rest for the right hand thumb, and we go to a hard rubber. We lose the tattoo on the upper stack, but check out this deep cut engraving. SELMER still really cared about the beauty and aesthetics of these instruments, and this is a really wonderful example. One of the most notable differences, though, is the bore and the taper is completely revised. From serial number 150,000 all the way to 241,000, SELMER completely revised the brass composition, the taper of the body, and the shape and the height of the neck. In comparing the 5-digit versus the 6-digit necks, you can see that the 6-digit neck has actually a slightly higher design and a different taper, both at the mouthpiece side and on the tenon side that meets the body. The 6-digit necks from 150,000 to 241,000 will not fit the body tubes of the 5-digit Mark VIs. So check this out. Super loose. And when I try and put a 5-digit Mark VI neck onto a 6-digit body, doesn't fit. Why did SELMER make these changes? Well, the altissimo range totally expanded. This is a 1971 instrument, and by that time, the range and the demands technically of the saxophone changed fundamentally. And so SELMER wanted to create an instrument that responded to the times, and particularly that increased the intonation, increased the ease of playing the altissimo, and was inherently louder than the 5-digit SELMERs that preceded it. recap, we've got a revised neck with enhanced intonation and responsiveness. We have a deeper cut engraving. All of the pearls and the overall touches feel slightly larger to accommodate a wider variety of hand size and ergonomic positionings. And we have a fundamentally different brass composition and lacquer color, which switches from honey gold to a champagne color. There's a lot more to be said about these incredible instruments, but I'm putting it out there to my viewers. Which one do you like best? Are you a Mark VI fan? 5-digit versus 6-digit versus the upper 200,000 series? What do you think? Are there particular serial numbers that you're hunting for? What's the most important thing for you in terms of setup and condition of your instrument? Let's continue the conversation, and remember, keep the reed wet. Until next time, over and out.